Good evening. Thank you so much for coming to our Health and Hope night tonight. And tonight we're going to talk about the 6 macro habits of health. And so whether or not you're doing our program, doesn't really matter. You can start implementing some of these things into your life now, but we are going to talk a little bit about what those look like as far as if you were doing our program. And so first we wanted to just start out by giving you a little backstory about Mike and I, where we were, where we are now. So these are our before and after pictures. Mike and I started our journey about 2 years ago, and I had reached the heaviest weight I had ever been in my entire life. I was absolutely miserable with where I was. Simple day-to-day tasks I was not able to do, like bending over and tying my shoes. Putting my socks on was difficult. Carrying laundry up the basement stairs would leave me out of breath to the point that I'd need to sit down and catch my breath before I could continue on folding that laundry and putting it away. I was having a lot of chest pain that was radiating down my left arm, things that Mike didn't even know about. Like, I never even shared that with him. I didn't share my depression with him. I went to the doctor a few months before we got started, and my blood pressure was through the roof. He wanted to put me on medication, so I avoided him like the plague, because I was too young to be put on medication. And so I had a lot of back pain, and I wasn't sleeping in our bed for probably about a year, a little over a year. I'd been sleeping on the couch sitting up because that was the only way that I could sleep and have my back not hurt. And so I really wasn't getting quality sleep, wasn't feeling rested, and I was basically pretty miserable. And so I decided to go see a chiropractor, find some relief for my back. He ended up introducing me to the program that we've been doing, and it's changed my life. I lost 113 pounds in 10 months, and within a couple of weeks, my energy levels tripled. After the first week, I was back in my bed. I've been in bed every night, all night for the past 2 years. The biggest thing that I've gained, though, is the ability to be a better mom, the ability to help other people do the same things that I've been able to do. I was able to walk away from a very high stress, high demand job as an administrator of an assisted living, and I now coach full time from home. And I'm there putting my son on the bus every single morning. I'm there taking my kids to their doctor's appointments and going to their sporting events and being the mom that I always wanted to be and never had time to be, or had energy to be for that matter. So I'm going to ask Mike to come on camera. He's kind of just doing all the logistical things, and let him tell you a little bit about his transformation.
So I'm going to stand in front of the light here a little bit. Actually, she's moving, so I'm going to move back over here. So for me, I did this originally to support my wife. I got on board because it was something that whenever I looked into her eyes, I could see that she needed. She wasn't sure what she needed. She wasn't sure that this was the solution in the beginning, but you could tell that she needed something. And if you look at my beach pictures, you can see I apparently needed something as well, more along this line. So I always like to say I always had that six-pack. It was just insulated before. So the idea for me was originally to support my wife. But what I found out after about a week of being on plan was the increase in energy. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't some sort of spastic crazy energy, but it was a more consistent, constant energy. It was the idea of waking up in the morning and going all day long, and then coming home and having a productive evening, and then the best part, sleeping well at night. One of the eye-opening parts for me was the realization of, after what my job had consisted of for so many years, every joint of my body hurt. My elbows hurt, my knees hurt, my back hurt, my hips hurt. If it bent, it hurt. So within a week or two of starting the program, my inflammation had left. Now, to give you an idea of what that inflammation was like, I was a pretty Advil popper. I was taking about 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, probably 3, 4, 5 days a week. And that was just so I could push through my days. So within a couple weeks, the inflammation went away to the point that I had a realization that I hadn't taken Advil. So for me, although it's nice to have the confidence and feel better whenever you go to the beach. It's nice to have the confidence whenever you walk into the room. Your wife's eyes kind of lights up, and she kind of looks at you. How every guy wants their wife to look at him, and that's a confident booster. But the idea for me was more along the lines of, wow, this pain has gone away. I feel better all the time. So that's just a little short story about me. Deb's going to come back in here and she's going to tell you about some of these micro habits.
All right, awesome. So, the 6 macro habits. When we start talking about the 6 macro habits, we always like to look at where we are now and what our willingness is to make a change in that area. So most of our clients come to us with the idea of wanting to lose weight as their primary goal. What they don't realize is that there's so much more that we offer besides weight management. But that is typically where they start out, and I would say most of our clients are somewhere on a scale of 1 to 10, between an 8 and a 10 in this area. And so I'm asking you to look at yourself and think, okay, where am I at on that scale? On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready am I to make some changes to weight management in my life? So the program that we coach makes it super simple to make changes in this area. We use what we call fuelings, and those fuelings really take away any of the meal prepping and thought process and work that goes into trying to figure out what you're going to eat throughout the day. And so it's going to put you in to what we call a fat burning state. And basically at that point, your body's going to utilize the fat storage that you already have for energy instead of the carbs and the sugars that your body was previously using to give you energy. So you're going to start feeling better pretty quickly. You're going to have more energy and you're going to lose weight in a safe manner. And that's the biggest thing. I have people that are like, I only lost 2 pounds this week. That's great. 2 to 3 pounds is a healthy average rate to lose per week. Anything more than that starts to become unhealthy, unsafe, and we just don't recommend that. Now, that's not to say 1 week you're not going to lose maybe 0.8, and then the following week you might lose 3.5. On average, though, it's going to be 2 to 3 pounds per week. The other great thing about fat burn is it's going to take away some of your cravings. It's going to really get your metabolism going. And what we really strive to do is have our clients eat 6 times a day. They're going to eat 5 fuelings and 1 meal that, if you're doing the program with us and you're one of our clients, we'll go into more depth with you about that. But for you right now, if you're not doing the program, eating 6 times a day is one of the best things that I can tell you to start doing in order to get your weight management under control, because what that's going to do is it's going to get your metabolism going and it's going to regulate your blood sugar levels. Every 2.5 to 3 hours is when you want to be eating. I would say to try to find something that is very well balanced between your proteins and your carbs, and you want to stay somewhere between 100 and 115 calories. You want to try to reduce the amount of calories that we're having and basically balance out those proteins and carbs. And that's why the fuelings are so simple, because it does all that for us. Now, without those, getting into that fat burn state is going to be really difficult, but you can still lose weight. So the next area is healthy eating and hydration. I can't emphasize enough how important hydration is. And some people really overlook the importance of that. But on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in wanting to make changes to healthy eating and hydration? And so we're going to talk about portion control, meal frequency, and eating a balanced diet. So I just talked a little bit about the balanced diet, learning how to balance your proteins and your carbs so that you're getting the right amounts of each, because your body needs those carbs. A lot of people are onto the keto diet right now. It's very high protein, high fat, low carb. Your body needs those carbs. There's special functions that those carbs play in our system that our body does need some of those. We just regulate the amount of them to get us in that fat burn state so that we're able to effectively burn that fat and lose weight quickly. We're going to help you discover the foods that add flavor and texture and that you actually want to eat. So that's going to support optimal health for the rest of your life. And that really is truly what we're here to do. We want to get you to your goal weight as quickly as possible so that then you can transition and go into what we call optimization. And that's what Mike has been in for 2 years. He has gotten to his goal weight, gone through transition, and he's now in what we call optimization. And so he is balancing out all of his proteins and carbs and fats. He knows his caloric intake for the day, and he's able to really keep track of what he's eating in a super simple way that, it's not overly complicated and too complex that he gets burnt out and agitated. He's able to enjoy the foods that he likes, and he hasn't gained his weight back. And that's what we want to teach everybody how to do, because nobody wants to keep yo-yo dieting. And then we're also going to address the importance of water and proper hydration. So, for starters, if you're not on program and you're just looking to improve your health, the first thing I would recommend, 64 ounces of water every single day. You don't want to go more than 50% of your body weight in ounces of water. So, if you are 200 pounds, you can have up to 100 ounces of water a day safely. If you're only 150 pounds, then you don't want to have more than 75 ounces of water a day. Too much water can actually have negative effects on you. It'll actually cause you to retain more water, cause some bloating, it'll throw off your electrolyte balance. It just isn't good for you to have too much, so you want to watch that. But water in general is extremely important for your body functions. I think don't quote me because I'm horrible with facts, but I think about 80% of your brain is actually made up of water. So if you are getting enough water, the organs and muscles in your body are going to be properly hydrated, and you're going to get the best function out of those. So, healthy motion. That's probably one of the greatest things about this program, in my opinion, because I do not like to exercise. And so I was able to lose the 113 pounds doing no exercise at all. But some people want to learn how to properly move their body in a safe way so that they can start toning and build muscle and feel better and gain more confidence. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in wanting to make changes in healthy motion? For me, I'm somewhere like a 2 or a 3. I'm not interested in that. Eventually, once I get down to my goal weight, I will start going to the gym and doing some toning and stuff because I have goals. And my secondary goal after getting to my goal weight is I want to be in a 2-piece bathing suit this summer. In order to do that, I got some flab I need to firm up in the midsection here. So that is one of my next goals, is to start working on that area. So we're going to ease you into the right amount of physical activity at the right time. So we always like to focus on nutrition first, get you down to that goal weight, and then once you get there, then start working in the healthy motion. Or once you've lost a significant amount of weight and your body is feeling better and more functional, then we can start easing some exercise and motion in. But we want to do it gradually. If you're severely overweight like I was when I started, all of that motion and all of that exercise on your joints with all that extra weight can actually cause more problem than good. So we want to make sure that we are doing things that are going to be beneficial for our body, not cause more problems for us down the road. We're going to focus on activities and clever strategies that make moving your body easy and fun. You're going to learn about EAT, which is exercise activity thermogenesis, and NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis activities. And NEAT are the activities that I prefer because I don't like non-exercise. But like some things that I do now that I never used to do. When I go to Walmart, I park in the very last parking spot and I walk all the way down the row to the store. It doesn't really take a lot of extra time. It's a little bit of extra steps. I don't have to worry about where I park my vehicle. I always know where it's parked because I park in the same place every time I go there now. And I drive an Expedition, so I don't like to park next to other vehicles anyway, so it really works out. It's a win-win in every situation, but it's giving me some extra motion, and it's not exercise, so that is a plus. Studies are supporting the need for day-long movement. to counter the disease-producing effects of progressively sedentary activity. So a lot of us have sedentary jobs where we sit at a desk or we're just kind of sitting around all day. It may not be at a desk, but most people are sitting at a computer or something for the majority of their day. So a lot of the idea of NEAT is to maybe tap your foot and just get your body moving a little bit that way. Maybe every 45 minutes to 50 minutes, you get up for about 10 to 15 minutes and you do a little bit of walking, or maybe you do a little bit of dancing or something to get the blood pumping. All day motion is a necessity. And so that's one of the things that we're going to work through with you on that. Healthy sleep and energy management. Who doesn't love sleep? It's my favorite hobby. Energy management. That was something I had none of whenever I started this. I notoriously would come home from work and plop down on the couch, and that's pretty much where I stayed the rest of the night. I was a Netflix junkie, and if my kids wanted to do something with me, they were watching TV with me because I literally had no energy to do anything else. I was so overweight that I physically just did not want to do anything else. And like I said, I had a very high stress, high demand job. It took all of my mental ability and energy for the day. So I would come home and just vegetate on the couch. So where are you at with healthy sleep and energy? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you wanting to make changes? I was a 10 in this area. And I can tell you, when you get into that fat burn state, the sleep is incredible. It is absolutely mind-blowing how well you sleep. And the energy that you feel, because your body is tapping into your own fat storage. Mike likes to describe it, and I am horrible at this analogy, and maybe I'll bring him over to have him describe this, but it's like you take your car to the gas station, and instead of filling it up with the regular gas, you go to the ultra octane whatever, and it just kind of like boosts the productivity of your body that much more. And I'm probably screwing this all up because I am not a car person at all. But sleep is one of the most critical factors in creating overall health and well-being. And so anybody that has gone any amount of time without sleep can probably attest to the fact that it affects every function of your body. You're groggy, you're grumpy, your mood is all over the place. You probably feel like very brain foggy and scrambled. You can't think straight. It'll make you nauseous. It'll make every part of your body just ache and feel awful. I know this because I spent some time in the Navy and I had to work different shifts and different watches, and that was awful. But when I was the administrator of the assisted living, I would oftentimes have to go in for a night shift after working all day and not get to go to bed. And so by the next day, I was feeling pretty ick. Has a direct impact on losing weight and keeping it off. So if your body is not getting the rest that it needs, it's not going to be able to properly take the weight that you're trying to lose off. It's going to hold on to it because at that point, it's deprived of necessities that it needs. And so it's just going to hold on to whatever it can. And so we want to make sure that we're getting between 6 and 8 hours of sleep every single night. I make sure that I get 8 hours every night because I really enjoy sleeping. It's honestly my favorite hobby. We're also going to address energy management, how you can optimize your attention, focus, and productivity throughout the day. That, to me, has been huge. Just being able to stay focused through the day, stay motivated, have that energy and that alertness in my brain has been incredible. I wake up in the morning and I do my morning routine and I start my work day, and I used to hit a wall around like 1:30, 2 o'clock where I was exhausted. I was like done for the day. I could curl up under my desk, take a nap. And now my energy, like right now, it is 20 after 6. And I'm still feeling as good as I felt when I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm not groggy, I'm not miserable, I'm not feeling like, oh my goodness, I just want to go lay on the couch and do nothing, which is what I normally felt like at 20 after 6 before. And we're going to create Habits of Health Clock to help you have more optimal days. And that's been huge for me because I have my healthy model morning from 6 to 7 every morning where I have certain things that I do that gets my brain going, gets my spiritual energy going, and just gets me ready for the day. And then I have things throughout the day. I know when I'm gonna eat each time of the day, different areas of my day planned out. And then I have my wind down time, which we call our twilight hour, which is the hour before we go to bed. Try to reduce some of the blue light, do some things that calm our mind, maybe do some meditating, some reading. If you're religious, do some praying and some devotions, anything that's gonna calm us down and help us sleep better. Healthy mind. So with us, we focus on 3 different areas: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And I like to ask my clients where they're at whenever they're starting this journey and which of those 3 areas are most important to them. Like I said, the majority of people that come to us are looking for healthy weight management, but some people want the healthy mind aspect, ways to eliminate stress or deal with stress better, ways to learn how to cope with their emotions. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at and how ready are you to make changes in this area? Your long-term success will depend on making choices, understanding your patterns and triggers, and helping you maintain a sense of calm and resilience. So what I can tell you with this is, we started our journey in January of 2021. Like I said, I lost 113 pounds by October of 2021. In July of 2021, we went to our first convention. So we were there with thousands and thousands and thousands of health coaches, and I found myself sneaking off away from our group because I was a smoker. And I was embarrassed that I was a smoker because here I am coaching people to optimal health, and I felt like a hypocrite because smoking is probably worse than being obese as far as what I'm doing to my body and the effects that it's having on me. And how can I tell people that I am creating optimal health for myself and yet I'm a smoker? And so I kept disappearing and pulling Mike away from the group, and we missed out on conversations and community time because I would drag us somewhere where no one could see us and I would smoke. And so an opportunity arose that we qualified for an event in Orlando, and we would be leaving on December 2nd to go to that. And so I made a decision in October. I was not at my goal weight yet, but I had lost the 113 pounds, and I decided that before we went to Orlando on December 2nd, December 1st, we left December 1st, I made the decision that I was going to Orlando as a non-smoker. So I tapped into these patterns and triggers and the thought process, and I looked at when I smoked, why I smoked, what times of the days and what things really triggered me. When was it that I was finding that I needed to smoke more than others? And I slowly started to eliminate those cigarettes. And I put myself on a schedule, and I was very methodical about the way that I did this, and I successfully, through these healthy mind strategies that I learned through our system, was able to quit smoking. And it's now been 15 months since I've had a cigarette. I successfully went to Orlando on that trip and was a non-smoker. It was my first day as a non-smoker. It was December 2nd because December 1st was my last cigarette. And then we got up on the morning of the 2nd and got on a plane. And I purposely did it that way because I needed to shake things up. I needed for my first day as a non-smoker to be out of my normal routine. And I knew that going to Orlando for 5 days and being out of that normal routine was the best way for me to be successful. Because by the time I came back, I had almost a week under my belt of not smoking. And it made it going back into my normal routine a lot easier. We'll help you adopt new behaviors by enabling you to master the art of habit installation, so you'll no longer have to rely on willpower to avoid unhealthy behaviors. And that's the one thing I can honestly say is I did not quit smoking based on willpower. I quit smoking based on my ability to know my triggers, know my pain points, and find ways to change those habits. We'll build self-efficacy by creating generative motivation, thereby supporting what is most important to you and working within your current ability to change and improve your key life skills. So these are areas that when we get to Healthy Mind in the next several months, those are things that we're going to really key into. Healthy surroundings. This is one of Mike's favorite topics. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. So healthy surroundings. I think this is one of the most important macro habits. The reason being is we are creatures of habit. We are creatures of ease. We like things that are easy. We choose things that are easy. Our body likes things that are easy. We don't like change as creatures. So we've asked you here on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to make a change in this area? So let me give you an example of what this is. This is the people, the places, the things that you surround yourself with on a daily basis. Are you surrounded with people who are negative most of the time? Are you surrounded with people who are positive a great deal of the time? What kind of things do you have in your pantry? What kind of things do you have in your refrigerator, your freezer? Whenever you go out to eat, say you dine out, what restaurants do you choose? So by putting yourself in healthier situations, it allows you the latitude to not rely on willpower, because what we've then done is we've created a surrounding that is easy. So essentially what we are shooting to do is make the healthy choice the easy choice. And that is most effectively done whenever we rely on healthy surroundings. So with that in mind, this will help you create a better connection with, as Deb spoke about earlier, feelings. The idea of what am I feeling whenever I go to the pantry for a snack? And that'll help you address that, because what we're going to do is we're going to start hampering the idea of negative effects of our surroundings. So that, I'm going to turn it back over to Deb.
All right, so those are our 6 macro habits, and Dr. A is the co-founder of our program, amazing human being. He says, time and daily choice are our most powerful agents of change. Our choices can be powerful allies or an erosive force that takes our health from us. So most people come to us with an immediate need to become the boss of their own weight management. So we'll begin next month with habits of health, weight management, and then each month we're going to continue with the other macro habits of health. So next month, the entire Health and Hope Night that we're going to have is going to be centered around weight management, and then we're going to each month focus on one of the macro habits and start showing you how you can implement those into your daily life. Through the system of the Habits of Health and a variety of easy daily activities, we'll use these powerful habits to put you on track for sustainable, lifelong transformation and help you attain optimal health and well-being. That is what our ultimate goal is, to help you get to where you want to be and learn how to stay there, no matter which of the habits it is. So with that, if anybody has any questions, we'll be happy to answer any questions. And then the next slide, we do have some of our clients. I pulled some pictures of them and just some of the weight loss that they've experienced. I'm super proud of these ladies. They've all completely rocked their journey. They're in their Habits of Health books. They are living the program. They're doing it, and I'm beyond proud to be their coach. And
So one thing I do want to add on behalf of all these ladies who are doing wonderful jobs, our wives oftentimes are the key to us as husbands getting healthy. And there is a lot of backstory in most of these women who, whenever they made a choice to start changing the surroundings for their husband, as we just talked about, the idea was pushed forward into the husband's life.
actually 5 out of 6 of their husbands have done program.
Yeah. So
and I won't call out the one who hasn't.
But it's an amazing transformation. It is an excellent opportunity that you have to choose for yourself. You have to want the change. You have to be willing to put the work in. And we have a system that works. We have a proven system that works. So with that, I think we can conclude.
Yes, thank you so much for coming tonight, and thank you for supporting us. And if you want more information or know somebody that could benefit from what we're doing, we would love to have a conversation with you or with them or both. Feel free to stay after, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have or talk to you a little bit more. Thank you.
Have a great night.